Good evening, gentle wanderer. Tonight, we journey not through the palaces of emperors or pages of heroic battle scrolls, but into something simpler, softer, older. We're stepping back in time to ancient China. Picture a morning mist rising over a quiet village, not during war, not in a royal court, just a regular day during the Han or maybe Tang dynasty, lived by someone quiet, sturdy, and long forgotten. They weren't great scholars, generals, or poets. They were someone like you. Someone who once yawned under the same moon you see now. So fluff your pillow, let the modern noise fall away, and drift into a world where life moved with the wind, the sun, and the call of the rooster. Day begins not with buzzing phones or flashing alarms. No, in ancient China, the first signal is the rooster not shrill, but reliable. A low, persistent crow beneath the clouds. The man who wakes is 39. That's not old, but the sun and fields have added a few decades to his face. His back bends slightly, not from weakness, but from loyalty. To the plow, to the land, to rhythm. He lives in a mud brick house, single room, sloped thatched roof, with a bamboo curtain to keep the wind from getting too bold. It never fully works. The floor is packed dirt. The air is damp with steam from last night's ashes. The walls, a soft shade of smoke gray from years of indoor cooking and oil lamps. Children wake beside him, scratching, yawning, wrapped in faded robes that smell like clay and last week's rain. There's no mattress, just a woven reed mat on a wooden platform. Pillows? Rolled cloths? Dreams? Hopefully soft. As the sky lightens, the mother rises. She tends to the hearth, the home's gentle heart. No buttons, no stove. Just kindling, patience, and last night's embers. Breakfast simmers. Congee plain rice porridge, made not for pleasure but survival. A soft, warm slurry eaten with pickled turnip, or maybe fermented tofu if it's a lucky day. There is no sugar, no honey, no spice rack, just fuel. The sound of eating is quiet. Slurps, chopsticks clicking gently against the bowl. The steam curls up like breath from the past. Outside, chickens scavenge, their feet kicking dust into the wind. Somewhere, an ox groans. A neighbor coughs. A child cries. Life murmurs awake. Now, let's talk cleanliness, or the ancient version of it. There's no soap, no showers, no mint-scented shampoo. Instead, there's a ceramic basin, a splash of well water drawn the night before, cold with a bite of stone. Washing your face is a shock, not a refreshment. Your towel is a square of rough hemp cloth. Your scent? A mix of smoke, sweat, and whatever the wind carried yesterday. Your teeth are cleaned, if at all, using a chewed willow twig. No toothpaste, no fluoride, just friction, spit, and hope. And the bathroom? That depends. If you're lucky, it's a trench behind the house. If you're not, it's anywhere the chickens won't gossip. Toilet paper doesn't exist. You wipe with twisted straw, cried leaves, or sometimes nothing. You don't complain. There's no one to complain to. Getting dressed is simple. There's no wardrobe, no choice. You wear a cotton tunic, sun-bleached, and mended at least 8 times. Your belt is a cord of twisted hemp. Your feet, if protected, wear shoes made from straw or thin cloth, stitched by someone who's now too blind to thread a needle. Underwear? Not really a thing. Seasonal fashion? That's a poem no one has time to recite. Your tunic smells faintly of earth, rain, and last week's garlic chives. Laundry is a monthly event. Water is carried in buckets. Soap is ash mixed with rice husk. Clothes are worn until they fray, then reworn as rags, and maybe used to filter tea. Nothing is wasted. Now comes the work. You walk to the field with a hoe in one hand, and in the other calluses. the kind that hurt when they don't hurt. You farm rice or millet, depending on where you live. Maybe you grow soybeans, cabbage, or mustard greens. The land tells you what it wants, and you try not to argue. There's no tractor, no irrigation system, just the sun, your back, and centuries of tradition. You till soil with a wooden plow. If you're lucky, an ox helps. If not, your shoulders do. You sweat not from exertion, but from surrender. The work is endless. You don't watch the clock. You watch the shadows. When they lean long toward the east, it's almost noon. Lunch, cold congee. Maybe a few salted beans wrapped in a leaf. You sit on a rock, chewing slowly, watching ants with more ambition than you. Your hands are cracked, your knees ache, but there's a quiet pride in that pain, because in this world, surviving is succeeding. By afternoon, the sun is a cruel overseer. You wrap a scarf around your head, but sweat still trickles into your eyes. Your mouth is dry. You sip water boiled earlier. It tastes like bamboo in minerals, and not quite enough. You don't rest. Rest is for later, maybe. The children gather wood. The eldest helps patch the chicken pen. The smallest one feeds scraps to a pig that snorts like a tired uncle. If you're a woman, your work is doubled. You fetch water, cook, tend vegetables, sew, mend nets, and keep peace between the toddlers. There are no breaks, just tasks that vary slightly by hour. Still, there's grace in the rhythm. You know what comes next. Predictability is its own kind of peace. As the sun retreats, the world softens. You return home smelling of smoke and wet straw. Dinner is another bowl of warm congee, thicker this time. Maybe there's a bit of chopped scallion, maybe not. You eat slowly. Everyone does. No TV, no news. Just chewing. There's talk of the weather, of crops, of whether the old hen will lay again. The fire crackles. You light a paper lantern, its flicker dancing like shy stars. Shadows stretch along the walls, quiet and gentle. Children doze early. You rub your knees with ginger root soaked in oil. You whisper a prayer. Not to be rich, but to be safe. Outside, crickets sing. The moon rises like a porcelain coin. The ox snorts in his sleep. You lie down again on your reed mat, heart beating a little slower now. You hear your own breath, and the breath of the past. Sleep is not just a necessity. It's an offering. There's no mattress, just layers of woven grass and old quilts. Your dreams are quiet, sometimes in color, sometimes just wind. You drift into memories that aren't yours, into fields that no longer grow, into the hush of time. The rooster will crow again, the fire will smolder, the work will resume. But for now, breathe. The day is done. You have survived. And in ancient China, that is everything.